Yes, sir. Okay, fine. Hi, good morning, everybody. Okay, so thank you very much for joining the session. Okay, so as we discussed, and as you all the people know, that today's webinar is about the importance of the profession-ready training and placement program in clinical research and pharmacovigilance. I thank you very much for the college to giving me the opportunity to interact with you. Okay, and in just 7 minutes we are uh, late to start the webinar, but that's not an issue. Okay, so most of the participants are already joined the session over here. Okay, in the today's webinar is divided into two parts. Okay, the first part of webinar where we are going to discuss that you all the people who belong from the pharma and life science background. Okay, so in the first part of this webinar you will be eligible to understand what kind of a career opportunities you have available into a clinical research, what exactly the clinical research domain is, how the industry is working in a clinical research domain, and which are the different domains are associated with the clinical research where you can start your career plan. So I can say that the today's webinar is totally based on totally for your entire career prospect. Okay, in the today's webinar you will understand what are the career opportunities you have, and by the time the webinar will end you will understand that where you would like to start your career, or might be you make your decision that where you would like to start your career, and what are the steps that you have to take if you are looking to start your career in a clinical research or any domain into a clinical research. So without wasting the time, I'm moving with my presentation today. Right. So first thing, I believe that all the people can see my presentation and my voice is audible to you all. Okay. So sir has already confirmed that my presentation is visible and my voice is audible to you all. So first of all, the thing is that most important thing we have to understand what exactly the clinical research is. Okay. As far as the clinical research is concerned, you people already know what exactly the clinical research is. And right now in this pandemic situation, the people who belong from the science background or the people who not belong from the science background, all the people from around the world knows about what exactly the clinical research is. Because in a pandemic situation, because of the COVID-19, okay, every person was expecting that some medication, some solution, some vaccine should come into the market where we can prevent this COVID-19 situation. And based on that, on the daily news, we was coming across with the news channels. And every time we come across with the news that this company is discovering some vaccine, or those companies are discovering some vaccines, they are under the phase 2 trial, phase 3 trial. This kind of a news we come across in this pandemic situation. So due to the COVID-19, we could say that everybody understand there is something clinical trials and the clinical research are there, which is something related to the vaccines, which is something related to the drug and all. But we should go with the definition. And for the definition, we need to understand what exactly the clinical research is. Basically, the clinical research is a very vast field. Okay. So I would request to all the people to please pay attention because I'm discussing a little bit of a basics of clinical research and the drug discovery part, which will be very helpful for you. So the clinical research is basically a very vast field. Okay. What happens into a clinical research? In a simple definition, we can say that in a clinical research, we have to evaluate or find out the safety and effectiveness of all these products, which is intended clinically to use in a human population. Okay. So whatever the things that we are going to use for the human purpose, okay, for the human use, okay, which is related to the medical or which is related to the clinical things, it can be a medications, it can be a devices, it can be a diagnostic product, it can be a treatment regimen, anything it can be. First of all, we have to find out the safety and effectiveness of this all the products, and then we can implement it to the human use only. Right. Now if you just come one step behind and understand where exactly this clinical research process lies or start, we just need to understand about the little bit of a drug discovery process. You all the people already know about that drug discovery journey or the drug discovery process. So drug discovery process has some steps. Okay, the first step in the drug discovery process is that target identification. When we talk about the target, okay, when we use the word target, so target, it means that in our body there are the targets. Okay, so what are the targets? Would be the targets can be a receptor, target can be a hormones, target can be enzymes. Okay, these kind of a targets are available into the body. When we suffer with any kind of a symptom, or if we find out any kind of indication, okay, we can say that maybe there is some functionality of the targets in our body. Okay, their functions are altered, and that's the reason we are suffered with any kind of a symptom, or any kind diagnosed with any kind of a indication. Now the challenge is that we have to fix that activity, and that's the reason we are taking the outside medications, outside vaccines, or outside product to fix that activity. That called a treatment. Now, so in a drug discovery process, the first point is that target identification, then the target verification. Okay, then we have to do the analytical work, in vitro, in vivo trial on the drug candidates which are available to us. And after this drug candidate, when we understand that okay, there are few drug candidates who are showing the good results in that all the stages, okay, then we are taking them ahead for the preclinical trial. The next step is preclinical trial. So preclinical trial, the name itself indicates that preclinical, before the clinical trial. It means that we are finding out the safety and effectiveness of any product on animal first. Okay, and if the preclinical trial is successful, when we understand that this product is safe and efficacious on animal, then we our clinical research or the clinical trial process starts. So if you understand the drug discovery process, here we are. Here we are starting the clinical research after all this process. And even after completion of a clinical trial, there is a multiple process are involved for the drug discovery. Okay. But now we are today talking about the clinical research. That's the reason we are only going to discuss about the clinical trials and the clinical research. Right? Here, one more thing you need to understand. When we talk about the entire drug discovery process, the a single drug discovery process can take around 14 to 15 years. Okay, which is very huge time. Okay, in that 14 to 15 years means in the entire drug discovery process itself means, as I discussed, that the clinical trial is one of the part of a drug discovery. In that 14 to 15 years, clinical trial itself takes the 4 to 5 years. Okay, there is a time which required to complete the entire process. Okay, for every step we require the time. So when we talk about the entire drug discovery process takes a 14 to 15 years, clinical trial is one of the part of a drug discovery process. And out of this 14 to 15 years, the clinical trial itself takes the 4 to 5 years, depending on the complexity of molecule, depending on the whether it is an acute disease or chronic disease. Okay, depending on the situation, the time may vary less or more, right? So I hope you understand what exactly the clinical research is, the definition wise, right? We are moving ahead that most of the candidates are confused that whether we have to implement the clinical research process, right? So when we talk about the implementation of a clinical research process, you basically need to understand that definitely it's fine that in a clinical research we are finding out the safety and efficacy, but it doesn't mean that every time you implement the clinical research process to do the each and every step. So for this reason, you also need to understand that what are the objectives of a clinical research, in which situation you can think for the clinical trials or the clinical research. So the first objective is that new drug. New drug, definitely, it's a very obvious choice that if you're discovering a new drug, you definitely have to conduct a clinical research and find out the safety and efficacy of that new drug. The next point is that new use of an existing drug. Before you going for a new drug discovery, okay, as we discussed earlier, it takes a 14 to 15 years. Would you like to spend the 14 to 15 years to for any drug to be discovered? Okay, it's a very huge period. Lots of expenses, lots of money will be involved into that. So for this reason, being a clinical research professional, okay, being a healthcare professional, what you will think, you will first try to implement, or you will first try to apply the solution which is existing solutions which are available for you. So you have lots of existing drugs are already available into the market, or already the research has taken place on that drugs or drug molecule. What you will do, if you wanted to do with any new research, you will first find out that whether these existing drugs or already available drug can be used for the multiple purpose. You know that most of the medications are there, most of the drugs are there which are used in a multiple treatment, multiple indications. The same way, if anything new indication or symptom you observe, you will first try to find out the existing drug can be used for this indication or not. If there is no option, then you will think for the new drug. So in both the cases, you have to go for the clinical research, right? The next process is that use of a medical devices. Okay, medical devices, you know the example of medical devices. It can be a bandage, it can be a surgical instrument, it can be a stent which we normally use into the heart surgeries. Okay, These all the things are come into the medical devices, and the medical devices plays a very important role into the healthcare sector. So if any new medical devices that you are designing and you wanted to make it available for the human use, first you have to perform the clinical research. First you have to find out the safety and efficacy, and then you can make it available for the human purpose. The next point is that new drug delivery system. Okay, these are the points which you have to keep in mind when you think for the clinical research, right? So you know that means when the clinical research process has to be applied, and these are the steps, or I could say that these are the points where you have to think, okay, in for this thing we have to do the clinical research, right? New drug delivery system. Drug delivery system means the route of administration. Most of the candidates, most of the people get confused that clinical research is only something to find out a drug or to find out some molecule and all. It is not like that. To understand the clinical research, I'll just give you a simple example and you will understand how the clinical research things is the way. Let's assume that for any particular indication, you have a fever, and when you visit to a doctor, okay, you have to just imagine that when you visit to a doctor, when you enter to the doctor's chamber, okay, and when your actual treatment start, from asking the first question that what is happening to you, till the time the doctor is giving the last prescription to you, and when you come out from this cabin, whatever the things are happening inside the cabin, he's asking you the questions, you're giving the answers, then he goes for the diagnosis, then he checks your vital signs, then he come to the conclusion that okay, that might be the reason, then he's giving the medications to you, then he's giving the advice to you that what you have to eat, what you don't have to eat, okay, then he will ask to take a rest, okay, then he will ask to come after 2 to 3 days. That every process, that every single process is undergone to the clinical research. It's nobody has hypothetically designed, okay, we can do these things. No, there are some techniques are there. There is a process, and this process has already undergone to the clinical research. When it's proven, then the doctors and the healthcare professionals are using it, right? So the drug delivery system is also plays a very important role because your route of administration describes the bioavailability. Now, the bioavailability for the different routes of administrations are different. You know that means you're already understand these things, this concept into the ecology. So parental route of administration has 100% bioavailability. Okay. First of all, we understand what's a bioavailability. I know that you must know the definition, but the bioavailability is a rate and extent of a drug which will be available into the systematic circulation into an unchanged form, right? So that is the concept. So in how much time, how much concentration of drug will be available into the body, it depends on the route of administration. And definitely, if the route of administration we are considering, definitely we have to consider the formulation. We could not give the tablet by the parental route of administration. For this reason, we have to change the formulation. And when we're changing the formulation, we definitely have to think about the route of administration, right? So whenever you decide the route of administration, you need to first find out that whether this route of administration would be a safe and efficacious or not when we're implementing the any kind of drug. And for this reason, you have to perform the clinical research. The next process is the vaccines. Okay, as far as vaccines are concerned, everybody knows what is the importance of vaccines in this COVID-19 situation. Whenever we talk about the vaccine, always we are talking about the vaccine for the prevention purpose. It's always used for the prevention purpose. Let's an example, during our childhood, our parents have given lots of vaccination to us, keeping in mind in future we should not be suffered with any particular indication or symptom. Like even every means when the newborn baby is there for till the 1 year or 1.5 year, whatever the vaccinations doctors are recommending, we are giving the vaccination. Keep in mind in future the child should not be suffered with any kind of a such indication or such diseases. So vaccines are always, when we discuss, we giving the example of vaccine for the prevention purpose. So in that case, the new vaccine you want to develop, you definitely have to go with a clinical research. Okay, I request to all the people that I'm giving the opportunity for you to ask me the question. In that case, during the session, if you have any kind of a question, you can write it down to yourself. Okay, and or you can keep in mind that this question I have to ask. Okay, when we will complete the session and when we will start the question answering session, I'm expecting the lots of the questions, some more questions from your side, right? So in that case, if you're not understanding any point, you keep in mind that this question you have to ask after the session. You can ask me the question. Fine. So for the vaccines, we have to perform the clinical research, and the next most important process is a new surgical process. You know that the treatment, it doesn't mean that only giving the medications. It treatment doesn't mean that only giving the vaccines. Treatment doesn't mean that you only just advise to the patient that you can eat that, you don't eat that. Sometimes in the most of the situation, we have to apply the surgeries for the treatment. In the most of the cases, okay, there are the surgical process are implemented. So nowadays, the new surgical processes are coming into the market. new technologies are coming into the market. Okay, new updates are coming into the market. Okay, the surgeries which will be accurate, the surgeries which will take a less time, the surgeries will give the benefit to the society. Such kind of a surgical process, or updated surgical process, are coming into the market. And before we apply it to the multiple subjects or the multiple patients, we first have to test this surgical process into the multiple subject first. When we will come to the conclusion, okay, this surgical process is really very important and really giving the benefit to the society, then and then we are implementing it to the society, right? So in this slide, we understand what is the concept of a clinical research and where we have to, what are the objectives of a clinical research. And moving ahead with very interesting point over here, we have to understand what is the different four domains into a clinical research. Okay, now this clinical research domain, you also think this domain in terms of a training wise and the placement wise as well. Okay, there are the core more four domains are into a clinical research: clinical trial management, clinical data management, pharmacovigilance, and medical writing. Okay, we will understand in a better way that each and everything, each and every domain. The first domain is the clinical trial management. This name itself indicates that here you have to something manage the trials and all. So when we talk about the drug discovery process, and when I discuss with you that there is one process, okay, after the preclinical trial, we are starting the clinical trial, where we actually finding out the safety and efficacy of a particular drug or any particular product on an actual human population. That's called the clinical trial. Okay, and this clinical trial takes around 4 to 5 years because this clinical trial is performed uh, multiple phases: phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. So when you're taking actual training or when you're doing your certifications and you're choosing a clinical trial management module, okay, you will be eligible to understand that how to perform the clinical trials, what are the different aspects are there. So when basically I'm a B Pharma graduate, okay, so when I completed my B Pharma and when I completed my education into a clinical research, my main focus, my main objective was that I wanted to enter into the core research, the actual research. Okay, and believe me, when you start working into the clinical trial management, you are actually working in the research work. Okay, so there is a multiple steps of research into a clinical trial, but you when you work into that, you will feel that yes, you are the very responsible person, or you are the very important person for this research. Okay, so if anybody of you wanted to start your career into a clinical trial management, you can start your career as a clinical research coordinator, or you can start your career as a clinical research associate. Right now, this is all about the clinical trial management. Okay, now we are moving to the second module. Second module is the clinical data management. What is the clinical data management? When we talk that clinical trial itself take a 4 to 5 years, okay, and every day you are into a research, every day you are doing some practices, every day you are doing your task and all the thing. For every task, you are generating one document or one data, okay, because it's very important. Okay, how you can prove, how you can say that you are completed this work? You should have a data for it. Even in the graduation and post graduation, when you're performing the practicals, how you can say to the your HODs that you perform this practical, because you have to maintain the record of it, and the record will be in any journal or any book or any thesis. Okay, so that record should be generated. So during the clinical trial, for every practice or every task, we are generating the documentation, we are generating the record. And with this documentation and data, in this 4 to 5 years, the huge amount of data is generated, and it's very difficult to manage. So for this reason, to manage this data, we have a next process, we have a next domain, that's a clinical data management. It plays a very important role. Clinical data management, the professionals who are working in a clinical data management, the responsibility of this professional or the responsibility of this domain is that you have to generate the high quality data. The quality data quality should be high quality data. The next process, the next stage is that data should be accurate, and the next is that data should be credible. These three parameters you have to meet, and for this to meet this all the parameters, you require the clinical data management process. So B Pharma candidate, life science candidate, most of the candidates are interested to work into a data management. Might be you heard the data management. Okay. So in that case, if you wanted to start your career into a data management, you can start your career as a drug process associate, data analyst, or the data specialist. Right? These are the profiles that are available for you. Okay. Understand this each and everything very, very well, because in this webinar you will understand which are the different domains are available for you. Okay. And in this all the domain, you have 100% placement opportunities are available. Okay, there is not a single company who stay there for data management. We are not going to accept the B Pharma candidate or life science candidate. You have the 100% placement opportunities into that domain. That's the reason. Keep these things in mind. If you have any kind of a questions, ask me after the webinar. So we understand about the trial management. We completed the clinical trials. Whatever the data has generated, we are managing this data into high quality. We are converting into the high quality, credible, and accurate data by the clinical data management. Now the next important process, okay, is a pharmacovigilance. I believe that most of the candidates has already planned, or most of the seniors are already placed into the pharmacovigilance. Most of the pharma and life science candidates are interested to start their career into the pharmacovigilance. But do you know that what exactly the pharmacovigilance process does, or what is the roles and responsibilities into a pharmacovigilance? For this reason, okay, you need to understand what the pharmacovigilance process does. The pharmacovigilance process is very much important to understand any adverse effect, adverse reaction, serious adverse reaction, suspected, unexpected, serious adverse reaction, any reaction, unwanted, untowards reaction happening by the drug into the market. The pharmacovigilance department has a responsibility to collect this data, okay, and find out the reasons of it. So the pharmacovigilance process is divided into the multiple stages. The first thing is that collection. Collection, it means that you have to collect the information from the market. Similarly, in the clinical trial, also the pharmacovigilance process works. Pharmacovigilance process department collects the information from the market or from the healthcare professionals regarding the adverse effect. Is a globally highest top industry who is hiring the maximum life science and pharma candidate for the clinical research processes. And the contract research organization is such kind of industry who handles the end-to-end process. They can complete your clinical trial, they can complete your data management process, they can also work for your pharmacovigilance, they can also do the medical writing. So everything they can do. This is a contract research organization. The company's name like IQVIA, Covance, Bioclinica, Syneos, these are the companies you maybe heard this name of this company. This all the companies are comes under the top contract research organization. So being a graduate and postgraduate with plus certification, you have an opportunity to start your career with the IT companies and CROs. The next industry is a pharmaceutical and biotech industry. Top multinational pharmaceutical companies are involved into the drug discovery and the clinical research process. The companies like GSK, Pfizer, Novartis, Abbott, AstraZeneca, these are very big names. Whenever you talk about any kind of research, new innovations, and all the things, you will find out maybe any of this company will be involved in that, because these companies are involved into the research, and that's the reason spending a huge amount of money, and that's the reason you have an equal opportunity to start your career into that company. However, sometimes it may be happen that you are working into the IT company or you are working into the contract research organization. When you actually start to working into that company, you will understand you're working in any IT or contract research organization, but your client is somebody like a GSK, Pfizer, Novartis, Abbott, or any pharmaceutical company. There is a different client you have, and this for that client you're working into the organization. That may be possible, right? So IT companies, CROs, pharmaceutical industries are available for you. Next industry is a multi-speciality hospital. Now don't correlate with this multi-speciality hospital with the pharmacist kind of a job. No, it's obviously when you're performing a clinical trial, when you have to find out the safety and efficacy on a human population, where you require the subjects, where you require the patient, definitely you have to perform the clinical research in multi-specialty hospitals only, where you will get the patients available, where you will get the doctors available, all the facilities and the preparation which is required to do the clinical trial, paramedical staff which will be only available into the multi-specialty hospital. So that's the reason you are involved into a research, then you probably working into the multi-specialty hospital, right? So the hospitals like Apollo, Tata Memorial Hospital, Fortis, Oakard, Sayadri, these are the multi-specialty hospitals are available where you can start your research work or where you can start your research profile, right? Understand how many industry is how big and how many industries are available for you. Okay, next is the research center and the institutes. Research centers and the institutes like Reliance, Tata Research Centers, and more. Okay, now here we need to understand one more thing. When we talk about the research center and institute, I know that you all the people know that when we talk about the current vaccines which are available into the market, you maybe know the manufacturers of it. Okay, Bharat Biotech is a manufacturer, Serum Institute is a manufacturer. Now the Serum Institute is manufacturing the Covishield vaccine, okay, and manufacturing the bulk amount of vaccine units, okay, and making it available into India and overseas. But when we just think closely that Serum Institute is manufacturing the vaccine, but who discovered this vaccine? Then you will get the answer that the Oxford University who discovered this vaccine or who developed this vaccine. Like Oxford University, we have multiple universities, institutions, and research centers like Reliance, Tata Research Centers, where the continuously research is going on, and where you can secure a good profile as a junior research associate or the senior research associate, and you can start your profile after completion of your technical training or the certification. These all the things are available for you, and that's the reason it's a very high time to think about your career, right? This is the first part of my webinar where I describe you each and everything about your career plans, the profiles, the clinical research industry, which are the different domains. Okay, you can think on that yourself, and you can think that okay, whether you like to start your career. But if you're deciding at this moment that in which career, in which domain you like to start a career, it will be very difficult. And for this reason, you have a good option. Okay, means this option is good for everything, for your training and the placement as well. And the option is your online certification program, online training and placement program. Nowadays, all the pharmacy colleges has taken an initiative to develop their last year candidate or final semester candidate professionally. So after completion of the examinations, this all the student and the candidates will be available to take a directly placement. And for this reason, the Clini India provides the online certification program for the clinical research and associated domain. Now I tell you something about the online certification, which is the very best option is available for you, all the candidates who wanted to start their career into the clinical research, and even the candidate who don't want to start the career into a clinical research, they must give a second thought to their decision whether they would like to start the career in the clinical research or not. Okay, because at this moment, only the clinical research, pharmacovigilance, data management, medical writing, regulatory affairs, this is the very booming industry where the graduate and the postgraduate candidate can secure a starting package starting from minimum to 3 lakh rupees per annum. It can goes to around the 4 to 4.2 lakh rupees per annum package, which is a very huge package. Also, the every year increment starting with the 20 or 25%. This industry is a non-saturated industry. That's the reason after 3 to 4 years you can expect the good kind of a promotions or the good kind of a salary hike. Okay, every year you are getting the salary hike, but in terms of a promotion, you can expect within a 3 to 4 years, if you excel well, you can get the promoted. These are the very interesting things are associated with the clinical research industry that you already know. You can ask your seniors, you can ask your professors, they will help you out in that case. And to make it possible, only your graduation or the post graduation degree is not sufficient. Means you are eligible to give the interview, but to get the good job opportunities into a highly top multinational company with the highest package, you definitely have to develop your skill sets along with your graduation degree and the post graduation degree. Okay, so along with your educational qualification, you have to take a one step ahead. You have to become a certified candidate into a clinical research. For this reason, you can join the training and placement online certification program. Now that's the only best option available for you. In the online certification program, the institute will give you the online training. Like you are coming across with the multiple TV advertise. Most of the institutes are giving the online certification. It may be for the engineering, it may be for the children's, it may be for the any classes and other things. Everybody is giving the online education now, and that's the option is available for you that you can start your training and placement program by the online. In an online certification program, your entire duration of a certification will be a 4 month only. It means that it's a short term industrial oriented certification program. When we talk about the industrial oriented certification program, it means that in this online certification program, if you're pursuing this certification program, you basically don't have a need to go for the internship, because here we inviting industry to provide the training over here. That's the first most important thing. It will be a live session, like I'm giving the session to you the same way the trainers from the industry expert people and industry expert peoples are available separately for the separate module. For clinical trial management, maybe any doctor or any senior person who is working into a clinical trial management, they will provide the training. Same for the data management, same for the pharmacovigilance, same for the medical writer. And why it is very important, because in online certification program we have an option to take any kind of a trainer, good trainer from any kind of a corner of this India or corner of this world. Okay, because they don't have to come to the classroom. Okay, they have to only give the online training. That's the reason you might be attending this the session into a Karnataka or into a South region. Okay, but you will might find out that your trainer, okay, is from the Delhi or is from the Mumbai. Okay, so that's the reason we have a choice to select the best trainer from the industry and make it available for you. In the online certification program, you don't have to relocate anywhere. That's the most important point, and that's the reason you can attend this all the training program by sitting at home, by connecting by the mobile or the laptop. Okay, you don't have to relocate anywhere. You can manage your all the day activities. You can attend your college, you can attend your practicals, you can prepare for your examinations, you can prepare for your competitive exams, and simultaneously you can also focus on your certification. It's very easy that you can attend this certification and complete your certification. The next point is that the fee structure. Okay, now Clini India looking to the entire market situation, looking to the entire requirements happening currently into the industry, and looking to the responsibility on us where all the multinational companies are expecting to hire the candidates from the Clini India. That's the reason we are giving the webinars to the colleges, and we are asking the colleges and the student to join your certification because we have a requirement. You only have to complete your certification. Rest of the placement part will be taken care by the institute itself. We ourselves has a lots of requirement, and for this reason we are expecting the student can take this opportunity, join the certification, complete the certification, and can take a good placement, whatever the placement options we have available. So I was talking about the costing part. The costing part in a one certification program, in a one program, that's an advanced program in clinical research and management. In just a one program, you are getting the all four certifications available. You don't have to do the separate certifications for this. There is no need to go with the separate certification. You choose a one program, 4 month certification. In a 4 month certification, you are getting the four modules: clinical trial management, data management, pharmacovigilance, and medical writing. That's the reason when you're taking the entire training of all this module, you becomes an eligible to take your own decision in which domain you like to start a career. If you are still confusion after the training, you can take a help of the HR, or you can take the help of any person from the Clean India, that what exactly your plan should be for the career plan. Okay, so that's the reason the fee for this program is very less as compared to the offline or the classroom training. If you compare the online training, okay, online fees, okay, it's less than a 65 to 70%. In just the 20,000 rupees, I'm repeating, just in 20,000 rupees, okay. Actually, the fee is very less for this certification. Even the institute could not afford this less fees and all that. But at this moment, the more responsibility towards is to the industry to find out the most of the candidates. The candidate belongs from the second tier and third tier who don't have a much payment capacity, but still they should afford this program. And that's the reason we keep the very fixed fees for all the college students, that they can complete this certification in a 20,000 rupees. And this 20,000 fee is only for your training only. The placement part would be a complimentary services from the institute side. We are not charging the single penny for your placement. And at this moment, this time is very important. If anybody of you who is already passed out in 2020 or 2019, okay, they should definitely have to do the certification program. There is no choice. But the candidate who are into the last semester right now, if they are thinking that let's finish my exams and let's then I will plan after the examinations and all that, probably you're choosing a wrong career path. You have to decide right now what the career you have to choose after completion of your examination. And if you're deciding that you wanted to go with the clinical research or any pharmacovigilance profile or the data management profile, you can start your certification into the last semester or the last year itself only. It's an online certification program, live program. Okay, you have to attend the evening classes, 7 to 9 or 7:30 to 9:30, and the sessions will be on an alternate day. So that's the reason none of your schedule is going to disturb. Okay, presentations, technical skills, non-technical skills, interview preparation, communication skills, whatever required for any multinational company. What is the multinational company expecting from the candidate? That all the training in terms of a technical, non-technical, aptitude test and all that, everything will be provided on an online certification program to you. And before your examinations, you will be professionally eligible or professionally available to get the placements into the right company. Fine. So that is the specialty of online certification current in the current market and current days. Okay, and that's the reason it is available for everybody. Okay, so don't waste your time. I could suggest you that. Okay, in that case, if you need some help, you can ask to your professors as well, or you can contact to us in that case. Okay, but start your certification. If you're not doing it right now, in future you will realize that somewhere in future you will realize that, yeah, I should be a certified and I have to do this certification. Even the people who are professionals who are already working into a clinical research or a pharmacovigilance or a different industry, even those people also doing their certification for to update their profile to make a value of this profile. You are the freshers one, and that's the reason it's very important for being a certified candidate. Okay, so you can think on that part for the certification. I believe that I have given the most of the information to you regarding this webinar. And that's all from my side. So I request to all the people, if you have any kind of a question, you can start to write in the chat box. Okay, I would be happy to take your questions and give the answer of your queries. Right? Thank you very much. I request participant to please ask the questions. Any questions? Your chat box is open now. You can write your questions into a chat box. Doctor, say any question from the college side or from the student side that you would like to ask? Students, I request you all the people to, you can ask me the question if you have anything. Okay, I will give the answer. Yeah, hi, hello. Any questions? Saran Raj, any questions you have? Dr. Ramesh, sir, any question from college side if you have anything? Or the student has any kind of questions? Okay, you can ask me in a chat box. The chat box is open now. You can ask questions in a chat box. Okay, so Arul is asking the question, okay, how to benefit for this online courses. Yeah, see, the benefit of online courses is so many. Okay, I tell you the very logical answer of it. Okay, just imagine that you are the graduate and the postgraduate only. You secured your degree. Okay, you have your graduate or the postgraduate degree, and you apply for the companies. Okay, now understand very basic thing from the company point of view. What exactly the companies are expecting? There are the multiple requirements from the company side. Okay, let's assume that if any company is putting their requirement into any job portal, okay, and you come across that, okay, this company is required a B Pharma and M Pharma candidate. This company has such kind of requirement, so I'm going to apply. So you apply that. In my 6 to 7 years of experience, I have that experience, and that's the reason I'm suggesting everybody to go with the certification. Why? The benefit of the certified candidate and non-certified candidate, you can understand this thing. The candidate who is just qualified and just applying to the companies are just waiting that when the company will revert back to me, when the company will give a call to me. Every day, every time they are applying to the multiple companies and they're not getting the response because there is a multiple criteria from the organization side. What are the criteria? Company required the qualified candidate. That's perfectly fine. There are around more than a lakhs of a candidate, graduate and the postgraduate candidates are coming into the market, and every candidate looking for the career, and that's the reason they're applying for the multiple companies. Company don't have a time to look each and every application. Understand this thing. If any HR is getting the thousands of mail every day when they publish any requirement, and if they're getting the thousands of profiles for the whatever the requirements are available, the HR will not go to each and every application. So what is the option for them is that HR will take a means the referred candidate. So for this reason, it's your responsibility that whether you have references into the industry or not. So what the HR start, HRs take the references. Okay, the candidate from the referred might be from their employees, might be from the institute like a Clini India. Okay, they will ask Vishal, if you have any kind of a such candidate, we have a requirement of a 250 candidates, we have a requirement of 650 candidates. So if you have a certified candidate, you can send all the candidates or the placement tracker to us and we will get shortlisted that. So when it comes to the reference, okay, just because you don't have any kind of a reference, you are not reaching to the company. you are still eligible, but you're not reaching to the company. Now, on the reference basis, when the HR is entertaining or the company is entertaining you for the interviews, okay, they will start to take your interview. In the interview, the first round is an aptitude test. Okay, so the candidate might be means the company might be taking the interview for the referral candidate, but the candidate is not eligible to crack the aptitude test. Then the rejection will happen. That's the first case. Second thing, we can say that okay, candidate cracked the aptitude test and move ahead for the further round. That's the technical round. In the technical round, you need to understand that whether you have a technical understanding or the technical knowledge about this domain. Because the company is definitely going to ask you if you're looking for the pharmacovigilance process. The company will definitely going to ask you about the pharmacovigilance question, trial management questions to you. But you are just a qualified, you are a B Pharma and M Pharma graduate or the postgraduate, and that's the reason you have a theoretical knowledge of your subject, but not the technical knowledge, and that's the reason your rejection may be there. Okay, now I coming moving ahead. Might be the candidate has a good technical understanding, but they don't have a good communication skill. They don't have a good attitude. It might be the chances that the multinational company can reject them. Sometimes it happens that candidate has only 60 or 65% marks, but having the good basic knowledge, having the good communication skills, and they cross the any topper candidate and crack the interview. Sometimes you get shocked that here, how this candidate gets selected, means why this candidate means these people are not get selected. It may happen. Understand the basic thing. For any particular structure, you have to make fit for this all the requirement, and for this reason, you have to update your skill. You have to develop yourself up to the company's expectations. The company will not always come to your expectations and hire the candidate. Company don't need you. You have to generate a need. You have to show that, sir, I'm the right person for your profile. And for this reason, why they definitely ask you the question. HR ask you the question, why we should hire you. Do you have an answer to give something, any X factor or extra thing to the HR? When you say that, sir, I'm just completed my graduation, I just completed my post graduation. We have thousands of people. Sir, I'm a certified candidate. We have a 500 people who are the certified. Sir, I'm certified into the all domains. We have a 200 candidates in that. Sir, I'm actually practice means I have a technical understanding. When we talk about the technical understanding, you can ask me any kind of a question. I have a good presentation skills. I know these things. I actually perform into my practicals. Okay, I have a good knowledge of Excel. I have a good communication skill. I have a non-technical. You have to give the justification. You have to give the reason that why should the company should hire you. Okay, and last point is that company is asking you that how much salary you are expecting. You should know the highest salary range into the industry, and you should have a guts to ask the HR that I'm expecting 3.6 lakh rupees package per annum. The company will again ask you that why you're expecting that much of a package. You should have that knowledge. Compare yourself, just the graduate or the postgraduate candidate, and compare yourself as a professional person. Okay, now you understand yourself, or you can take a call for yourself that what is the difference between the any certified candidate and the difference between any plain graduate or the postgraduate candidate. Right, these all the things I shared with you. You can take your own decision. Fine, I hope I given the satisfied answer to you here. Arul, any more questions? Right. So duration of this entire certification program is a 4 month. It's a 4 month certification program. Any further questions? Okay. In that case, if you want to ask me personally or talk with me personally, I'm sharing my number over here with you. So you can call me at any time, and we can discuss the further things. Right. So during webinar, I mentioned that we required lots of graduate and the postgraduate candidate. Okay. So, however, the industry's requirement is the candidate should be certified, and that's the reason we are creating the awareness for the certification to the candidates. We have kept a very less fees that the most of the candidates and the audience should grab this opportunity. Okay, and we can provide them the placement. So the placement part would be from the institute side. You don't have to don't worry about the placements and all the things. You focus on your certification program, make your own career plan, design that means make your short-term and long-term goal that what kind of a salary that you're expecting, and to achieve the salary, what the training, how the training you have to take, what the practices you have to do. You can ask to the institute. You can during the training you can take these practices and all. and you can achieve whatever the goals you have. Okay, so if you say that, sir, I need a placement in so and so company with that so and so package, Clini India has that much of references and that much of a confidence that we can provide the placement into that company. Okay, we can schedule your interview in that company. Now it's really your responsibility that whether you are cracking the interview or not. As far as placements are concerned, all the candidates will get placed into the industry, but the packages are different. If any candidate performs well, give the good package. If the candidate performs okay, then they get the okay package. So that is the only difference. But the placement will be for everybody, right? Any more questions? Any further questions you have? Any further questions you have? Dr. Ramesh sir, any questions you have? Dr. Ramesh sir, am I audible to you? Yeah, I request to all the people to please fill the feedback form, okay, which is important one to understand about your feedback regarding this webinar. I share the link with you, okay, so you can please fill the feedback form, right? Thanks, Deepak, for your comments. Okay, please write these comments in a feedback form. Hi, Santosh. If you're in the first year, I tell you that you first concentrate on your second year, third year. Okay. Then for the clinical research, particularly, you don't have to prepare for any kind of exams and all of this. Okay, that is a there is the certification, professional certifications, and after that placements only. But if you're talking about the exams, you can decide that what exactly your future career plan, and based on that, you can discuss with your professors and all, and they will suggest you that based on your plan, which are the exams are available and which exams you can do. But for the clinical research, there is no any kind of exams you have to prepare. Same for the Ashif. Thanks, Naveen. Thanks, Mega. Thanks, Rajendra. Daniel, in a 4 month, okay, it's not like an exam, but we have definitely assessments are there. Okay, you have to give the assignments. Along with the assignments, we have a one-to-one interaction session. We have mock interviews and all the things to develop you each and every from the each and every aspect. Okay, so exams is not like means that you have a final exams and all the thing. Exams would be in a every month, means if you completed your one subject, then your exams will be completed in the first month only. For the second month, okay, the second month, the second model exam will be complete. With same with the third and fourth. Okay, so after completion of each and every subject, you have your exams or assignments, we can say. Thanks, Monisha. All the peoples, please, I request you to please fill the feedback form and share your comment on that. Any further questions you have? Yes, sir, we can end the session. Okay, you allow me, then I can end the session. Okay, but before that, I request all the participants to please the feedback form. Definitely, sir. I will contact you, or either you can contact me. Okay, after that, and we will have a conversation on that. Sure. So you have you can also speak into the session as well. In that case, if you wanted to share some comments or the opinion, you can directly start speaking. You can uh, unmute your mic and you can talk over here. Uh, so you can click on a mic. It's very simple that you can click on a mic. Okay, there is a on top there is a option for the videos and the mic as well. Okay, you can click on a mic and you can start speaking. Sir, your mic is already unmute. You can speak. Okay, not an issue, sir. It's okay. We can have a call, a separate call after that. If you allow me, so I can wind up this session. Can I wind up the session? Okay, sir. Okay, fine, fine. So thank you very much, Ramesh, sir, all the principals, teaching staff, and the management from the college side for giving me this opportunity to have the interaction with you. I'm very happy that the number of participants was very good. Okay, and it was really a nice session from both the side. Okay. Also, I request all the candidates to please fill the feedback form. In that case, if you have any kind of questions to ask me, you can write in the feedback form. Okay. And just in a 1 minute, I'm going to wind up this session. Okay. If anybody not get the link, okay, in the 1 minute, you can find out the link over here and you can click on this link and start to fill the feedback form. Right. I'm just sharing the link over here again. Okay. And you can click on the feedback form. After 1 minute, the session will be end. Right, so in a 1 minute, I'm going to wind up this session. I request you to click on a feedback link and give your feedback.